You know, these days, whenever there's news about a franchise aimed at children becoming realistic, darker, edgier, more mature, more adult, I am instantly stricken with concern, because most of the time, it ends up being laughably stupid, unrecognizable, boring, or just outright bad. It's the equivalent of a child trying way too hard to be mature or adult, and not even realizing how they look or how ridiculous they act. Now, with all that said, not every attempt at making a franchise aimed at children more darker or more mature is a bad thing by default. Those who have watched multiple seasons of Power Rangers beyond the Mighty Morphin days, fans will recall when the series got heavy. In Space, Time Force, Wild Force, and RPM, these seasons dished out themes and ideas like, is evil something you can be, or is it a choice? Free will and destiny, one's identity, the test of forgiveness, and perseverance in the face of the end of the world. All that combined with improved writing and amazing martial arts, this series is everything a superhero fan could ever want. However, because Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was the first season and the longest running season, it is the most remembered. Which brings us to today's comics, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. While the video is titled Issue 1, I think it is necessary to include the events of Issue 0 because that comic felt more like a first issue than a traditional Issue 0 where you could just skip it. But nope, Issue 0 has important plot points. Thanks, Power Rangers, for your numbering of comics. Genius. The comic takes place after the events of the Green with Evil story arc, the most memorable and possibly one of the most well-written parts of the first season, because of course it brought us the Green Ranger. And the comic added something of value and even makes Tommy's story arc even better, and I didn't even think that was possible. In the series, the team is very accepting of having Tommy in the group because they saw him as just an innocent soul under mind control, and Tommy rarely ever showed regret over what he had done as the Green Ranger. You know, nearly trying to kill them all. In this comic, while the Rangers have accepted Tommy into the team, Tommy is showing major doubt about his place on the team and whether or not he is worthy of being a Ranger. And when I say major, I mean major. He had a daydream about being pulled back into the dark side. He froze and freaked out during a battle. He kept going at a training simulation designed for failure, thinking that he could beat it. He feels a sense of awkwardness around the Rangers aside from Kimberly, and to top it all off, he keeps seeing what looks like a hallucination of Rita, talking to him like some devil on his shoulder. Hail the Empress of Evil, your pettiness knows no bounds. Back in Issue 0, as mentioned before, Tommy froze during a monster battle and damaged a bridge as a result and endangered lives. And in Issue 1, next day after the battle, things aren't looking so well for Tommy. Bulk and Skull are recording and asking questions to the people of Angel Grove for their online news channel, the two attention-seeking bullies asking the people questions about the Green Ranger and yesterday's fight, and the responses are as expected. The people of Angel Grove are not really happy about the damage and the danger the Green Ranger had caused, and even question how could the Rangers let this guy onto their team, especially since he tried to kill them all. And you can feel the awkwardness when they interview Tommy. Oh, Season 1, Bulk and Skull. Still attention-seeking jerks and idiots as always. I am so thankful you two grew up and helped rally the people to help the Rangers and count down to destruction. However, while Tommy is showing doubt in himself and it is affecting his duties as a Ranger, he isn't falling into unlikable, angsty, teenage, brooding bad boy territory. All thanks to Kimberly. Kimberly's efforts to cheer up Tommy is so heartwarming and darling that I almost forget that she broke up with him over a letter in Season 4. Seriously, what up with the Dear John letter, Kimberly? What I like about the series so far is that the dialogue and character interactions are made to feel more natural and believable, and they still feel like the Rangers. I dare not say realistic because Power Rangers. But I can believe that Jason trusting Zordon's decision to add Tommy into the group, but still having slight shades of doubt and suspicion, or Tommy being plagued by guilt and screwing up in a fight, but still being uplifted by Kimberly and others, or Rita still being petty and a smidge sadistic. Gotta love your first villains, guys. Speaking of the Empress of Evil, Rita seems to have more plans for Tommy other than messing with his head. It seems the monster the Rangers were fighting yesterday had a crystal inside of it, Rita just using the fight to charge the crystal with chaos energy. Insert Sonic the Hedgehog reference here. But as to what she will do with it is unknown. All that we do know is that it involves Tommy. Yes, let's drag him back into the dark side. Okay, 2 things about this page right now that I love. 1, Scorpina! Darling, you get a more prominent role. 2, there. Now no one can complain why Rita does not attack the Rangers' houses even though she knows who they are. There, she did it. Happy? From my first read-through, I was thoroughly impressed, and I really wish this was indeed an episode. As I said before, the dialogue and character interactions feel more natural and believable thanks to Kyle Higgins' enjoyable writing. And while there is doubt being planted around, especially for Tommy, no one fell into angst mode or became unlikable. Aside from Bulk and Skull, but they're relatively harmless. It is Season 1 Bulk and Skull after all. And despite the bits of updated technology, I could still see this as part of Power Rangers continuity. The comic even adds a few things that I wish we had, or we'll see later in future seasons, like the Zords being able to detach from the Megazord when needed, Lord Zed's Chamber of Command, or the mental side effects of Rita's spell. It's the little things that make a power geek like me happy. The art is what also won me over immensely. Oftentimes you see anime-inspired comic book art, and it's either beautiful or hard to look at. But thankfully, it was a delight. Hendry Pratsea does a great job with the fight scenes, the ranger suits, recreating Angel Grove High, the command center, and Rita's palace too. Even though I'm not seeing the original actors depicted in the art, giving the series a more anime feel to it is befitting since Power Rangers was made using stock footage from a Japanese show. Plus, I can actually believe these characters are teenagers compared to the actual actors. Sure, they're still a little bit taller than normal teenagers, but what do I care? At least they don't look like they're in their 20s. The art overall is exciting, pronounced, and at times even expressive. And to further prove that the art is great, a few things I never thought anime-inspired art could do. 1, make Tommy look even more attractive. 2, make me fall in love with the classic suits a second time. And 3, make me think Skull was good looking for a second. Let that third one sink in for a bit, Power fans. But yeah, as a lover of comic books and Power Rangers, I give issue 0 and issue 1 a 5 out of 5. Even if you only know tangential information regarding Power Rangers, I guess you could still read this comic. However, I still recommend that you check out the Green with Evil 5-parter just to make sense of it and get an even better experience. Trust me. Alright guys, that's all the time I have. Please comment, please subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the comic. Please support my work via Patreon. Please follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr if possible. And all of you, stay fantastic.